All praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and peace to everyone joining me on this program. This is a Fountain of Israel's Bible Studies program, and as always, it's an honor for me to stand before you on the Lord's holy Sabbath day. Now, with that, this is part 2 of my little mini-series that I titled Stand Like a Man, or Show Thyself as a Man, right? Show Thyself a Man. And this is part 2 of the lesson that I taught last week. And in these two-part sections, I am talking really to the men, right? I'm really responding to the men. Now, my next lesson, I'll be talking to the women. I'll be talking about that, but I'll be talking about, I'll be making a distinction between, righteous, traditional women, daughters of Zion, and wicked women. But that's the next level. Right now, we need to talk to the men, right? So I want to just really kind of get into men. Now, on the last part, in part 1, I was leaving off and getting into, networking and things like that, building ourselves up. And if you've seen the last one, you already know it's built on 3 imperatives. One goes without saying, which is serve the Most High Yah. But the 3 imperatives, okay, is going to be increase your value, pursue your purpose, protect your seed. This is the only way we're going to get better as men. And I guess I could say I don't even want to say a side effect, okay? But as a result of that, when we become the men, we're going to have a better family, we're going to have a better lineage, we're going to have to do what we have to. All we have to do is, and that's build us. Men, we have to build ourselves up. Everything is going to fall in line. And I know you say, well, no, I'm trying to, no. Trust me, it will fall in line. It will come together, okay? It will come together. Now, in the last video, or the last lesson, I was talking about, the Pookies and the Ray Rays, and I'm talking about we have no sympathy. Men, men of Israel, don't have any sympathy for these guys. Let them do what it is that they're going to do, right? We're not them, they're not us. Okay? So let them do whatever it is that they're going to do, okay? Because the narrative, here's the reason why. So in case y'all wondering, why do I even want to talk about something like this? One, because I think we need to repair our families, right? We gotta have stronger family. We gotta have better representation in Israel, right? We've got to have better representation. Okay? And the reason I say that is because what is the stereotype for us as men, right? We're lumped in the same class of all these Pookies and these Ray Rays, all these guys who are running around, having babies, got multiple baby mamas and stuff. Now in Israel, we don't have baby mamas, okay? We have the mother or mothers of our children, right? Because we're taking care of our children, we're looking after them, we're becoming responsible, right? In Israel, we're trying to be responsible. Yes, I know some of us are first wave, just woke up to be in Israel, stuff like that. But guess what? You don't do that no more. You have to protect your seed. You do not drop your seed in Pukisha and Shaniqua and all. You don't do that. You don't do that. You're a man of Yah now. Okay? You don't do that. Okay? But what is the narrative? The narrative is that we're no good. We're broke, we're busted, we're lazy, we're dusty, we don't have nothing, right? Nothing good. And that's not really what we are. So all we have to do is look at the numbers, right? You look at the numbers. When you look at the numbers, and you guys can go check that out. Check out the Census Bureau, go to blackdemographics.com. You'll see all that, right? Over 50% of black men are single and childless. Over 50%. 30% are married. 30% are married. Okay? So it's just like 50, it depends on where you get, is 51 to 54%. And 30% are married. 50 and 30 or 50 and 34 is 84%. That leaves 16% of the men are making all the babies. Pookie and Ray Ray, he's making all the babies with Shaniqua. And Felicia and Keisha. He's making all the babies, and they look at studies, they saw it or whatever. They got multiple baby daddies, and Pookie and Ray Ray has multiple baby mamas. Now we're talking about this because I'm kind of focusing a little bit on protecting your seed. So guess what? They're having sex with each other. Excuse me. 80% of black children are born to single mothers out of wedlock. But 16% of the black men are fathering up to 80% of the children. Half of black men don't have any children and they're not married. So why? So Moray, why are you talking about this? Well, I'm talking about it because it affects our image. It makes us look bad. And so now we have to raise the bar. We have to raise our standards. We have to separate ourselves from guys like that. We have to separate ourselves from men like that. We cannot afford to be low value, no count men. We have to become high value. And we're the Hebrew faith. We have to become high value Hebrews. We have to elevate that. We got to have we have to protect our image, right? We represent the Most High. We got to do something. Do you want to be lumped in with the Pookies and Ray Rays? Let me ask the sisters. Would you want to be lumped in with Keisha and Shaniqua and stuff? You want to be lumped in? You're gonna defend that? You're gonna defend their behavior? You're gonna defend their behavior, jumping up on tables and twerking and all that, jumping up on cars and in the middle of traffic and acting the way they're acting? You're gonna defend them? You're gonna be one of them? You want to be lumped in with one of them who carries themselves unseemly? Precisely. Then the men don't want to be lumped in with these guys that are doing that. I know there's some guys in Israel still undercover Pookie and Ray Ray. I know. But hopefully some of this will expose that. Learning some of these things, what scripture says, and you'll be able to discern, you'll be able to look at it, it'll dispose that. You'll understand that some of these guys are some Pookie and Ray Rays. You understand that? Yeah. Some of them, they seem very learned in the scriptures. They seem very, very learned. Some of them, they go back and they go learn the Hebrew and all that other stuff. But they still got these Pookie and Ray Ray tendencies. They still kind of go do, stuff that is not pleasing to the Most High. Still not protecting their seed. We left off in the last lesson. We left off in Daniel 10 and 19. Now we're going to go to Psalm 128. Let's go to Psalm 128. And when we get to 128, we just want one verse. And it's going to be verse 2, which says, "For thou shalt eat the labor of thy hands, and happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee." Again, we're just talking about, being a man, working, putting in the work. I said in the last lesson, men, you have to show your work with the K. Women have to show their worth, TH. What I mean by that, as I said in the first lesson, men are not born with their value. They have to build it. They have to increase their value over time. They have to increase their value. They have to make something of themselves. What do you call a guy who doesn't do anything? Who doesn't do anything, doesn't want anything, doesn't have anything? What do you call that person? He doesn't do anything, he doesn't have anything, doesn't want anything. Have no ambition. Exactly. So, he has to increase his value. Has to make something of himself. That's what we're charged with as men. We come out, we're like clay. We have to be molded into something. And I know a lot of our upbringing has caused that, has a great influence on that. I already dealt with the fact that most of us, some of you guys listening today, most of us raised a single parent household. You go look at the stats, you're at every statistical disadvantage. Almost 80% of the people in jail, about 80% of the people in jail come from a single parent household. The number is almost the same for teenagers who run away. They run away from a single parent household, who are on medications and depression and stuff like that. Single parent household. Dropouts in school. We can go on. So we're all affected somehow, some way, because of breaking up of the family. But see, that's why I'm going back to the source. I'm going back to the origins. I'm going back to men protecting their seed. So we're going to talk about that. So let's see. We're going to go into, actually, we're going to go to Sirach. We're going to read one verse, and then we're going to be in there a lot in a minute. Hold on. So we're going to go to, or in yours it may say Ecclesiasticus. So we're going to go chapter 26 and verse 23. Okay? Because we're talking about protecting your seed. We're talking about mate selection. That's what I mean when I'm talking about, protect your seed. It's mate selection. Where do you want your lineage to come out of? Does that matter to you? Brethren, does that matter to you? Because if you're not a man of Yah, a man of some sort of use to the Most High, and to yourself, to your brethren, to your family. But you're the origin of the family. You're the starter of the family. You're the one who goes and get yourself a wife and place your seed and start growing a family. You're the beginning of it, right? You're the beginning. But if you're wicked, you're lazy, you're slothful, you don't want nothing, you don't have anything, you don't do anything. Look what it says over here in Sirach, chapter 26, 23. It says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a what? Wicked man. But a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. I told you it starts with the Most High, right? So if you don't want anything, you don't do anything, you don't have anything, you have low value. Don't let some person come along and be like, oh no, it's okay, you matter to the no. You don't have anything, you don't do anything, that's called homeless. And no, I'm not kicking against homeless people, I'm not kicking against poor people, I'm not, okay? The poor you're always gonna have with them, right? Okay, so the best way to help them is that you make something of yourself so you have something to help them with. You can be one or you can help one. Which one do you want? We're going to go back to the book. Going to go to Proverbs. And we're going to go to 31 and 3. Look what it says. Because we're talking about being a man. And remember, when you read this is his mother talking. This is Solomon's mother talking. I was just going to read 3, but we're going to go to 2, right? Watch this. It says, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. Okay? That his mother taught him. She says, what, my son? I'm talking about Lemuel. I said Solomon, but Lemuel. Is what, my son? And what, the son of my womb? And what, the son of my vows? What did she say? She says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Okay? If it'll bring down a king, it'll bring you down. Don't give your strength to a woman. Ladies, sit this one out. I'm talking to the fellas. Don't give your strength to a woman, meaning you have got to be a man. You have to stand on your own too. You have to develop and become something. You have to become the best version of yourself. You have got to be in your masculine frame. No, you cannot be afraid to be in your masculine frame. I know that modern society, especially in the West, they call it toxic masculinity, but no, it's just masculinity. That's all it is. It's just being a man. It's just manhood. You can't be afraid of that. And then here's the secret. If there's any woman that's afraid of that, who thinks that's the wrong woman for you, you need to get away from them. If you can't even say the word masculinity around them and that triggers them, you need to not deal with them. If you can't say the word submissive, red flag. If she gets triggered for that, red flag. If you got to argue that type of stuff, this is mate selection. Protect your seed. This is mate selection. Otherwise, we just read in Sirach, Yeah, you're wicked. If you're weak, you're wicked. You're unrighteous. So you deserve a wicked woman. You deserve that. If I had, look, I wasn't always in the faith, and if I had a wicked, let's just say if I had a wicked woman, I don't blame it all on the wicked woman. In fact, I blame most of it on me. If I ever stepped outside my frame, if I stepped outside, that's on me. It's not if a woman made me step outside my frame. If I got off my path, that's on me. See, what we have to do as men, we have to take radical accountability. Radical accountability, right? Because then now we can do something about it. Now we can be men. Now we can stand up. Now we can do these imperatives. We can be the men that the Most High want us to be. Stand and show thyself a man. We don't become men with a plethora of excuses. We can't go around with a cornucopia of excuses and try to make a difference. We have to look at our situation. We have to know what's going on. We have to self-analyze. We have to be introspective. We have to have the perspicacity to look at any type of situation and discern and move in wisdom and move accordingly. Let's continue. Don't give your strength to a woman. Period. You don't do it. Meaning, don't simp, don't bow down, don't genuflect, don't over pedestalize, don't, hey, queen, when it's unwarranted. Hey, beautiful, when it's unwarranted. Don't do all that. Be a man. Be a man. Stand up, be a man, have a backbone. We're going to go to 18, Proverbs 18. Let's go to 18. You have to be a stabilizing force. You can't be tossed to and fro by the emotions or the whims of the fairer sex. You can't do that. 18. We're going to read this Proverbs 18. We're going to go to 22. 22 says this: Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of the Lord. It says, whoso findeth a wife. It didn't say whoso findeth a 304. Whoso findeth a girlfriend. It don't say that. It means she's already raised to be a wife. It's in her to be a wife. So what you're looking for, we're talking about mate selection, she's already have wife qualities within her. The only conversion that you should be making is converting her, if you convert. The only conversion you should be making is her coming into the faith if she's not already in the faith. That's the only conversion you should be making. That's it. You're not supposed to be converting her to be a woman. Let me show her how to be feminine. Let me show her how to be submissive. Let me show her how much time do you have? See, that's our big problem. We trying to convert something that's not. See, if she didn't have those qualities in her, I understand the implications. I understand. But how much time do you have? How much time are you willing to invest? To show someone, because when you find a wife, meaning those wife qualities are already in her, all you're doing is customizing her to you. You have to take a step back if you got to show her, okay, I need you to be more feminine. I need you to be more feminine. I need you to be more submissive. I need you to be more nurturing. I need you to come. Sure, some minor corrections. Okay, cool, that's fine. But I mean, if you got to do an overhaul, you got to do some. I mean, you're reprogramming the software. You have to. And that's a lot, brothers and sisters. That's a lot. Okay. And many of you guys right now, you probably can't. You can probably testify. I'll put it like that. You can probably testify. Many of you right now that you've taken on these projects, if you will. Some of you guys may have been successful, and some of you guys were not. That's all I'm going to say on that right now. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on that. Men, I have another channel dedicated to just kind of talking to men, and if women wandering over there and get offended or triggered, then that's on them. But we got to be men, and then that way we can select better. We can choose better. Okay? So Proverbs 13, verse 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Okay, if you don't need to increase your value, if you don't need to have compensation, those 4 components, okay, conviction, capacity, character, compensation, right? If you don't have this compensation piece, how exactly are you going to be able to leave an inheritance for your children's children? How exactly do we do that? Talk to me, Israel. How do we do that? How do you do that if you're not working on anything? How do you do that if you're steeped in debt? And I'm not kicking you if you're in debt. I'm just saying pay your debt off. That's all I'm saying. Work on that. That's all I'm saying. But I'm just saying, if money has nothing to do with it, then how exactly do you leave an inheritance for your children? You're going to leave an inheritance of heartache? You're going to leave an inheritance of debt? You're going to leave... What are we doing? Gentlemen, what are we doing? So let's work on it. So that is one of the components. If you got that far, that is one of the components. Now we're going to go into the Apocrypha. We're going to go into Sirach. We're going to read a lot of that real quick, brothers and sisters. We're going to get some of that. I'm going to start in chapter 9 of the Apocrypha. Chapter 9. All right. The book is Sirach, and the chapter is 9. And we're going to start reading. I'm going to start at verse 1. We'll jump around a little bit. Verse 1. Verse 1. It says, "Be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against thyself," right? So don't be jealous of her. Don't get too emotionally, a part of not giving your strength. And look, some women who unlearn may think, "Oh, well, you mean we don't love you? Are you saying don't love them?" And of course you love your wife. Husbands love your wives, okay? But don't give your strength to her. Don't let those emotions override your good judgment. Don't let those emotions get you off your square. Don't let those emotions rule and drive the relationship, because she can use that against you. It can hurt you. And I know some guys are looking right now to say, yeah, I was in a space where, my wife's emotions controlled everything. I moved according to her emotions. And men, we're not supposed to do that. Her emotions can't drive the relationship. And guess who I blame? You. I don't blame the women. You. I don't. Because it's simple. You put your foot down and say, "Oh, no. You talk to her. Hey, no, sweetheart, we're not doing that." Nah. She'd be upset, but no, we're not doing that. All right, let's read a little bit more. "Give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance." Okay, don't do that. What is happening? What is happening What is happening right now in the family court system right now? Men, you're being destroyed. You run out, go get your marriage license. She stays with you for a little while. She gets a little bored, or hypergamy kicks in and she feels like she can do a little bit better than you. She say there's some sort of irreconcilable differences or whatever. Because remember, in the Bible, we don't see a lot of places where, we don't see places at all where the Most High give this power of divorce to the women, right? I know that it upsets some people, but it's the Bible. I don't know what you want me to do with it. Okay, so I know some guys, they kind of reason and go to the judges and the elders and all that. Oh, that's not what this lesson is about. But then you enter in, a couple decades ago, the no-fault divorce, right? And divorce skyrockets. We have one of the highest divorce rates on the planet. On the planet, one of the highest. Over 50, knocking on the door 60%? And of that 60%, 80% is filed by whom? I give you one guess, and you got a 50-50 shot. 80% of the time, one of the sexes file or initiates the divorce. Give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance. So you're getting separated. You're getting half of your substance taken away from you. And remember, this is about mate selection and protecting your seed. And you're getting your children taken away from you. And she's taking some child support too. Yeah, I know, tough subject. I know some sisters are going to be mad at me and all that. You know, I'm not really worried about the other sisters who this really just kind of exposed the undercover sisters who are really actually modern women disguising themselves as Hebrew women and stuff like that, because the biblical virtuous women already understand that, yes, my husband is the head, he runs the household, I'm having his children, I am into his frame, I am raising and nurturing his family and furthering his name. I'm making his name, Proverbs 31, I'm making his name known at the gate. I am a brand ambassador to my husband's family. See, the righteous sisters are going to get it. So the ones who get mad, I already know who that is. They're exposing themselves. So if they get triggered, I get it. I already know I know who they are. They're probably just some sisters in disguise. They're probably wicked women disguised as virtuous sisters. And remember, this lesson I'm talking about you men. Who have I held accountable in this lesson? Who have I held accountable in the last lesson? Now, or they're gonna be real mad in the next lesson. But I've been talking to the men, and who have I put all the accountability on? The men. So the next lesson, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So we're gonna keep it moving. Verse 3. Meet not with a harlot, lest thou fall into her snares. Don't be messing with a harlot. Don't be messing with what do they call it? 304s. Don't be messing with these women. Don't be messing with these loose women. You are killing yourself if you mess with a woman for hire. You messing with a harlot. Men, you're killing yourself. Don't do it. You can find a wife. You can find someone that's yours, that you can be responsible for, but you select wisely. Do not mess with a harlot. Let's continue. I'm going to drop down to 6. 6 says, give not thy soul unto what? Harlots, that thou lose not thine inheritance. I just said that. Look not round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in the solitary places thereof. Okay, that's 7, 8, and 8. Turn away thy eye from a beautiful woman. Watch it. And look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. For herewith love is kindled as a fire. It can be, look, men fall in love with what they see, and women fall in love with what they hear. So men, be careful. Be very, very careful. This is how you increase your chances of picking the right mate. Trust me, okay? You can go find yourself a 10, right? Out in the world with the scale of 1 to 10. You can go find someone a 10 in the looks. And she could be wicked. She could be on demon time. She could be 2 internally. All right? She's a 10 on the outside. She's a 2 on the inside. I'll take a 7 on the outside and a 10 on the inside. I'll take a 5, which is average. I'll take an average looking woman on the outside. On the inside, she's an 8, 9, 10. I'll take that. Why? Because you're going to have peace. I'm saying hypothetically. I'm not, just a made up number and a made up person in my mind. But guys, I'm telling you, be careful. Be careful. This is about protecting your seed, and it starts with mate selection. How many brothers out there right now has a child with someone that they are pretty much embarrassed that she is the mother of your child? You're pretty much embarrassed, right? That's mate selection. That's not protecting your seed. That's what that is. Okay, we read over to 9. That was 8. 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife. I'm going to read that again for the fellas in the back. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thy arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. Okay? So don't entertain another man's wife. Don't sit there and just talk to her. You talk from a distance. Hey, your husband home? No, he's not there. Okay, well, tell him I came by. I stopped by. I was looking for him. Whatever. Don't just sit there and keep company with another man's wife. You keep it pushing. And certainly don't go have drinks with her. You know those drinks will lower your inhibitions. You don't want to do that. Not me. I'm spending 0 time with your wife alone, period. It's just not going to happen. You want to be a man of character? You want to be a man of substance? Then that's what you have to do. Let's drop down to 16 and 17. And let just men eat and drink with thee. This is your network. Let just men eat and drink with thee, and let thy glory be in the fear of the Lord, okay? Because we serve the Most High, but let's eat and drink together. Men being men. Let's go. Let's have a men's retreat, okay? Let's hang out together, okay? Let's break bread together, eat, drink, stuff like that. Network. Iron sharpens iron. It's one of the ways you become a high-value Hebrew if you're missing some of this. We're missing some of this, brothers and sisters. Some of this stuff is right in front of us. We're going to keep going. Okay, we're going to go to chapter 10. I'm going to drop down to verse 20 real quick, and then we'll jump around. Okay? So, chapter 10, verse 20, it says this. Among brethren, he that is chief is honorable. So are they that fear the Lord in his eyes, okay? Him that is chief, the guy, the man, stuff like the money. Okay, I want you to be the man. I want you to be chief. In your field, in your given field, whatever it is that you do. And you network with men. I know a lot of us are Sigma. Some of them are alphas and some of them are sigmas. Sigmas is just like an alpha, same as an alpha, but he's a loner. Okay, that's okay. I can't stop you from being who you are, right? But I mean, you can get further if you cultivate the right network. You can. But hey, some people make it happen by themselves. Those are the sigmas. Sigmas and alphas are the same. Just alpha is a part of a group, and the sigma is not. So, But just letting you know. Okay? Among brethren, he that is chief is honorable. So are they that fear the Lord in his eyes. Okay? So you have that. You want to know why? Because we have a compass. We have something that guides us. We have a center point of origin. We know that is that the Most High is our source. We know that the Mashiach is our master. We know that he guides us. He knows that this word, this Torah, this law permeates all of our thoughts, permeates our actions, permeates what we do. And it makes us honorable. That makes us high value. Above a heathen or an infidel. That's what makes you high value. Okay, 26 and 27. 26 says this, be not overwise in doing thy business, and boast not thyself in the time of thy distress. Don't be overwise, don't be arrogant. And it says 27 says, better is he that laboreth and abounded in all things than he that boasted himself in wanton bread. Okay, you talk a whole lot of noise, but you don't do anything. But it's better the guy who just puts his hand to the plow. He just keep plugging. He just keep going. He just keeps going. He keeps building. He keeps stacking. He sacrifices. He doesn't always go out and have drinks with the boys all the time. He just keeps doing what he has to do. He keeps paying. He keeps building. He works on himself. He goes to the gym. He works out. He's trying to eat right. He try to pay off his debts. He try to make investments. He does a side hustle. He builds. You know how many large companies started in a garage? And they sacrifice those early years. To make something on the other side. That means in the secular, they say they early on, they lived like no other, so that later they can live like no other. We just keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep the scripture. We're going to just keep it going. So that was 27. Now we're going to go to the Sirach 2. Okay, let's go to Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. Chapter 2. We're going to start at verse 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 1. Let me look at something real quick. Okay. Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 1. Okay, and it says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So imagine this is a son. Imagine your father. Gentlemen, I'm talking to you. Pay attention. I'm talking to you. Pretend that there's a father saying some of this stuff to you. My son, if thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Yes, we have. You went through that before. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end, that you may increase your value, that you may be increased. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. When you go through hard times, gentlemen, it's going to happen. But this is when your character is forged. Your character is forged in the fire of adversity. This is how you become a man, because you went through something. This is how you're not a cream puff, because you went through something. You went through not having very much to eat. You went through when all you had was a piece of bread, like literally. You went through where one day your dinner was a spoon of peanut butter. I know that one. That was dinner that day. A spoon of peanut butter, that was it. Dinner. Living hit hard times so bad. I lived in a truck. Lived in my truck. You have to go through something. You don't have to go through that, but you got to go through something. You got to know what it feels like. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Brothers, this is what we're talking about. You have to stand and be a man. This is it. You're listening to it right now. This is it. I know it's hard. I know it's tough. But on the other side is your authentic manhood. On the other side, that's when you are a man. On the other side of that adversity, that's when you're a man. The struggle is part of the process. Don't pray for ease and quiet. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, look at your elders. Did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Didn't happen. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and save in the time of affliction. Woe to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. You got to pursue, stay on the path. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Meaning you gave up, you walked off the path, you went to go do your own thing. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his always. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. Guys, it's a high calling on your life just to be a man. You don't have to be a prophet. You don't have to be a moray. You don't have to be a pastor. You don't have to be a shepherd in order for things to be hard. Just being a man can be hard. Just being a man. So that is a high calling on your life. You have to build your life, and you're going to go through something. You're going to go through suffering and sacrifice and trials and tribulations. You're going to go through the crucible. But that's part of the process. It's not a woe is me. It's a Yah help me get through this, but it's not a woe is me. Let's go to chapter 3 in Sirach. We're going to go to chapter 3. Okay, chapter 3. And we're going to start at verse 1. We'll jump around a little bit. But that's verse 1. We're actually going to read 1 through 18. So we may not jump too much. But let's start at verse 1. Hear me, your father. Again, a father talking to you. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter that ye may be safe. For the Lord has given the father honor over the children and has confirmed the authority of the mothers over the sons. Whoso honors his father, make it an atonement for his sins. Okay, honor your father. Remember, honor thy mother and father. And he who honors his mother is as one that layeth up treasure. It's just really smart to do that. Okay, I know your parents. We have to be repaired as men. We have to be healed, right? Right? We come from broken homes. We didn't learn all the things we should have learned. Right? So we have to heal. This is part of that healing. Oh, I know dad wasn't there or mom wasn't the best and all this other stuff. Okay, I get it. But look at now that we know better, we have to do better. So one of the things we have to do is we have to honor them. That's just show a little respect. I respect you just for simply being my father. I respect you simply for being my mother. I love you just because you're my father. I love you just because you're my mother. Show them a little bit of honor so you can have a light unto your path, so you can continue to grow, so you can continue to go further. Do you want your hate, your disdain, your vitriol to hinder you from getting into the kingdom? Because it says honor thy mother and her father, right? Doesn't mean you got to hang around them and be lovey-dovey and all that. You can still be mature. You can still be a man, but you can have a healthy honor for your parents. And I know some of you guys' parents are not even alive, but you get the point. Because I want you gentlemen to heal. I'm only talking to the men. Talk to some of the ladies in the next lesson. I just want you to heal. Whosoever honors his father shall have joy of his own children. So now you're going to have joy with your own children. And when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. Honor the mother and father. You have honor of your own children. Now your prayers are heard. They're not hindered because of this stuff inside you. And on a side note, when you have to confess something, when you have to really talk about something, talk to other men. Not everybody can talk to their wives because they can't not relate to your struggle. They're not built like that. I understand that, oh, I wish my husband was sensitive and I wish he would talk to me and share him. Get your network, get your friends, get your men. There are certain things you can share with a wife, and then there's others that you can't. There's certain things you can do, and there's other things that you can't. You have to use wisdom. You just have to use wisdom. Get your network, Run it by your network of friends, of fellow Hebrews. Run it by them. Be in a council of men. There's safety in counsel. Okay? And it says in verse 6, he that honors his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto the Lord shall be a comfort to his mother. He that fears the Lord will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to his masters. Honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooted out foundations. I'll let that sink in a little bit. We can let that sink in a little bit. 9. For the blessings of the father establishes the houses of children, but the curse of a mother rooted out foundations. Okay? But we're going to continue. We're going to keep going. 10. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto you. That does do you no good. I understand you come from home, maybe your mother, and again, I'm not going after mothers, but again, you may come from home, a mother, your father left. Remember, there's always two sides of the story, but your father's left and your mother may not have said good things about your father. There are some mothers I know that, though they don't say anything bad about the father, okay? Y'all bless them. But those who do, they say all these bad things and all that and try to transfer, okay, how they feel onto you, gentlemen. This does you no good. The glory not in the dishonor of your father, for your father's dishonor is no glory unto thee. It does you no good. You don't win no prizes, nothing. Learn to forgive your father. There is another side of the story, okay? Learn to forgive your father. And even if he was at fault, you're a grown man now. Forgive him and move on. Because to dishonor him does you no good. It does nothing for you to dishonor your father. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach. And a mother in dishonor, where are we here? A mother in, let's see here, sorry, here. A mother in dishonor. A mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children. There it is, sorry about that. My son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he liveth. Grieve him not as long as he liveth. Okay, and let me go back there. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him. Sometimes our parents, they get old and they start, Alzheimer's, or, they don't have their strength the way they used to. Okay, let's see. Art in fail him not his patience, and despise him not when thou art in thy full strength. Don't despise him. He's weak and he's feeble and stuff like that. How did they treat David? Okay, they catered to him, right? Got him a bed warmer. They had him in bed, tried to keep him warm. They still serve him. They came to his bedside. They said, hey, what do you want us to do? Stuff like that. They showed him honor and stuff, right? Same thing. They showed honor. Abraham was showing honor. Isaac was showing honor. That's how it is. Okay, so. It says in 14, for the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sins it shall be added to build thee up. Increase your value. Okay, this one's spiritually. In the day of thine affliction it shall be remembered, thy sins also shall melt away, as the ice in the fair warm weather. Okay, because it says that we're going to be weighed in the balance, right? We don't want to be found wanting, right? You're going to be weighed in the balance. Like, okay, well, he was trying. He was doing his thing. Okay, yeah, we mess up. We stumble and fall. He's doing these many good works, many good works. We're weighed in the balance, gentlemen. Okay? You want to get as much as that as possible so that you can make it into the kingdom. As much of that as possible. 17. Let's see here. 16. He that forsaketh his father is as a blasphemer, and he that angereth his mother is cursed of God. My son, go on with thy business in meekness, so shall thou be beloved of him that is approved. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. The greater thou art, and you humble yourself. Increase your value and humble yourself. Increase your value, gentlemen, and humble yourself. Make something of yourself. Look in all the areas that we talked about. The 4 components of being a high value Hebrew. 4 components: your character, your conviction, your capacity, and your compensation. Work on those things. The greater you become and the more humble you make yourself. Don't think too highly of yourself. And you will find favor before the Lord. Let's go to one more place. Let's go to Sirach real quick. I think we're still in Sirach, but we're going to go to chapter 8. Chapter 8. We're just going to read 8 and 9. He said, despise not the discord of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. Okay, this is your counsel. This is your network. For of them thou shalt learn instruction and how to serve great men in ease. Part of being a network. You network. You don't know who know who. You know, you don't know the extent of your network of people. That's how powerful that it can be. Your extent of your network of people. We're gonna talk about some things, brothers and sisters. We're gonna talk about some things, okay? Some of this stuff we're gonna talk about, obviously doctrine is here on this channel. We talk about doctrine all day long. That's what this channel is all about. But on the other channel, it's called High Value Hebrew. And we talk about the whole channel is built around that. Intersexual dynamics. It's talk about, becoming a man and building a better breed of Hebrew. I mean, in other words, changing the narrative about us. That's what we're doing. We're changing the narrative about us. So the YouTube channel is going to be High Value Hebrew. And gentlemen, when you become that man, when you increase your value, when you do that, when you pursue your purpose and you protect your seed, then you're going to have a better option. You're going to have a better option as to who you are going to wife up, which means you're going to have a stronger family. You're going to be able to pick a woman who follows your lead because you become a leader. You are a leader. You are a man of Yah. You're a man of principle. You are disciplined. You are structured. Because remember, you're not trying to fit into a woman's frame. She's trying to fit into your frame. You're not trying to get with a woman so she can help you into retirement, so that you can get on her retirement plan. She's trying to get on yours. You're not getting a woman so that you can further her name and take her last name. She's trying to take yours. You're not trying to get with a woman so that you can bring up her seed. She's trying to bring up your seed. So you got to be in your frame. So we're going to talk about these things and more on the other channel. Now, I tell you right now, if you're not a righteous daughter of Zion, if you're not in the faith and stuff like that, you get triggered. You're gonna get, if you're a female, you're gonna get upset. Okay, if you're not righteous, if you're not of the faith, if you don't get what we're trying to say, if you don't understand that we're trying to build better families, the whole reason why this little 2-part series that I did, where we're trying to build better families, make better choices in women, build up men so that they can be real men, because everyone's always wondering where all the good men gone. Okay, if you don't realize that we're trying to get into their head to be better men, to be a better class of Hebrew. Now, again, that channel is not about doctrine. Okay, even though it'll be some biblical undertones, but that channel is not about doctrine. Okay, it's not about that. It's not. But men, Isaiah 3 is coming to pass. That's why That's why this lesson is being done. Isaiah 3 is coming to pass, and you cannot keep wifing up the wrong women. You cannot keep wifing up wicked women. You cannot do it. You can't keep fighting, and you don't. These women who will not comply, don't even deal with them. Don't even bother with them. And focus on you. Focus on you. Become men of value. Become high value Hebrew. And gentlemen, stand and show thyself a man. I hope somebody's got something out of it. So until next time, search the scriptures and prove all things. Shalom, Israel.